Let me start today's content with a very clear disclaimer that whatever I'm going to speak in this video, it is relevant only to the normal and functional households. And when I say normal, I mean a place where there is no such thing like domestic violence or emotional abuse in the households. So, unfortunately, the ladies who are facing any kind of domestic violence or do not have a perfect functional household, I am sorry to say you may not find my words and my talks relevant today. So, with that disclaimer, let me start the video. And yes, as the topic suggests, that I'm going to be talking about how can we be an emotional support to our husbands. Well, we always have come across sentences like, "This is a man's world. It's a male-dominated society. Men are out there to exploit women and they do not care what is her worth." Of course, we have come across such statements. And no, I'm not here to whitewash, all the men in this world, or I'm not trying to say that all these statements are false and are baseless. No, I do not want to say that, because yes, I do acknowledge that there are bad men who have created that kind of image for themselves in the society. But then we also need to understand that few bad men cannot represent the entire gender as such, because there are good men out there who are someone who can actually strengthen our identities by supporting us. So today in this video, let us talk about those good men in our lives, and yeah, let us celebrate their goodness and let us understand, as wives, how can we be emotionally supportive to our husbands. And as homemakers especially, it is very important that we have knowledge about all such things, only so that we can make our lives beautiful. That's all. So yeah, let us start this video. And yes, hi, I'm Vaishnavi, and my channel is all about homemaking motivation. And if I love to show how I clean my house, or share my ideas of organizing the house. But apart from that, I would also love to speak about the mental health of us homemakers. So if you're new here and you like such kind of contents, then please do consider to subscribe and be a part of this beautiful community of homemakers. And if you're already a part of this community, then please welcome back to the channel. So without any further ado, let's start today's content. As a wife, as a life partner, it becomes very important for us to show this particular quality in us, and that is the quality of empathy. Now, I want to make this point a little bit more elaborate by letting you know that we need to understand men. And when I say we need to understand men, it is also got to do with their childhood. Now, when we see our society, you know, be it any society for that matter, the general trend or the general tendency in the mentality of people is that if a boy cries, no matter what his age, maybe he's still, in Montessori or whatever, he maybe he's disturbed with something and he tries to show his emotions in terms of maybe crying, expressing what he's going through. You know what instantly we do? I mean, it is, kind of embedded in our subconscious mind, that we do and we tell things as if we are programmed to do so. And, instantly we say, "Hey, don't cry. You are a boy." And, later in their stages of maybe, when they're in teenage and everything, even then, we try to tell them, "Be a man. You cannot cry. No, you cannot shed tears. You're a man, you're a boy. Come on, be a man." We all do this. Let's just confess and be honest to ourselves. We all do this to boys. It's there in the society, it's just there. And on the other hand, if a girl cries, no matter what her age, she's small, she's in her teenage, or maybe even people like us at this age, we cry, nobody questions us or nobody even finds it awkward. But have you seen an adult man, well grown, maybe in his 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, a man, if he sheds his tears, you think you like it? Is it acceptable in our societies? No, right? Because that's the kind of conditioning that's been done to boys, to men. And we need to understand this. So, why I'm talking about this point is because we need to show empathy rather than, complaining and nagging that my husband is not emotionally available. My husband doesn't care to express himself emotionally. Let's understand why he's not doing. You have conditioned him to be that way in his entire childhood, in his teenage, when he's in his 30s. You, as a society, you have made him, uh, you know, have a perception like that about himself. That if I show my emotions, then I will be termed weak. If I do not show my emotions, then I'm a man. We have conditioned them, right? We, as in everyone. I'm not just blaming the ladies or the mothers or the sisters. No, everyone, we condition them in a way that you're not supposed to show your emotions. So can you imagine that someone who doesn't know to express his emotions at all will all of a sudden after marriage be just like you? Is it even possible? It's not. It's not. And it's not easy for them. It's not easy for men. Why can we not understand? Why do we just settle down with the thing that, I express so well, I tell everything? Why not my husband? Why my husband is not, free in terms of emotionally expressing himself? How do I understand what he's going through? When I am ready to, be so open, then why not him? Why is he always so disciplined and strict? These are the kinds of monologues that we have in our own mind. And as I said, we are good at complaining when it comes to all these things. So all I'm trying to say is, let us show that kind of empathy towards our husbands. They need it. They really need it, because they are not brought up in that way. And yeah, let me confess, very honestly confess, that as a mother of two boys, when they cry, even I, because I'm conditioned in that way, because I have seen people around me like that, I myself, I tell, no, 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 don't cry. No, don't shed your tears. You are a boy. Come on, you're a boy. I do that. I'm sincerely confessing. It is there in our society. Let's just face it. It is there. This kind of attitude towards the boys, it is there. Unless there is some revolution and there is some kind of drastic changes that will happen in the society, until then this is going to remain, right? So all I'm saying is, let's show that kind of empathy, and let's not overburden them and all of a sudden tell them that change your way of thinking, change your way of treating me, become more emotionally expressive. It will not happen. It will not. It will take time, but you can't expect them to all of a sudden be just like you, right? Now, having said all this, I'm not trying to demean the situation wherein some men who are very much emotionally available, who are like very, very, they are like stone hearted. I'm not trying to defend such people who can be termed narcissistic. No, I am not defending narcissistic men. No, in no way. I'm not defending them. I am trying to put my points in a way that, normal people, the normal men uh, who can who can actually take the accountability of their faults, who are readily, apologizing to you when they know they have hurt you or something. I'm talking only about such men. I cannot defend narcissistic men, so it's not for them. And I'm not in any way saying that settle for the breadcrumbs. When you are in a relationship, when you are in a marriage, when you are putting so much efforts emotionally, whatever way, it's your rights to demand for the same level of efforts from the other person. And when I say that, it doesn't mean that go on nagging, go on complaining. No, uh, that doesn't work. We can put our points in front of them in a very positive yet assertive way by not fighting. You know, it's good to have a good communication in the marriage. And yeah, you must tell what is going on with you. And I'm not trying to say that, oh, understand them, don't question them. No, but there is a way to tell your things to them. And when you're telling anything to them, please keep in mind that you need to show the empathy. You need to show that they cannot express themselves emotionally, all of a sudden. This miracle will not just happen overnight. Just because you got married and the next day you expect the person to be in a certain way, doesn't happen. It is how they are brought up. Boys in general in the society, how they're conditioned to think, how they build their emotional qualities, it all comes to play. And you have to acknowledge all these things when you are dealing with them. And when you really want to give emotional support to your husbands, please understand them and show this kind of empathy. This particular point can be well explained with those wonderful Sanskrit lines which talks about a good wife. So it is found in the Vedas, and these lovely Sanskrit lines, they go like this. It says, "Karyeshu dasi, karaneshu mantri, bhojeshu mata, shaineshu rambha, kshamayeshu dharitri, रूपेशु लक्ष्मी सत्कर्म युक्ता कुलधर्म patni." Now, when you have your own research about these lines, you will come to know that, in ancient India, they had already prescribed the way a good wife needs to treat her husband, or for that matter, a good homemaker, how she needs to treat her homemaking, which involves being a good wife, being a good mother, everything comes in one, you know, criteria or a category, you can call. So very beautifully it is explained. And yes, I have already done a video based on all these lines. The entire content I have dedicated for all these lines. So if you are interested, then I will certainly link, the particular video. I will put it in the description box below, so that you can always have a look. You can go and watch that video. And yeah, I'm really influenced by these lines, because it really tells us, it's very factual yet very spiritual. So yeah, I believe in these lines. As a homemaker and as a wife, I truly believe in these lines. So talking about this particular point, which I feel will help us support our husbands emotionally, it's, let us try and understand uh, a man's perspective. For everyone, they say, like, my problem is big. For you it may seem okay, she's leading a wonderful life, a very comfortable life, but I know my struggles, I know what it is. So likewise, as a wife, I feel that I have my own struggles. And sometimes, maybe it is stress, or maybe it is lack of knowledge, that we start treating our problems to be, like a mountain size. We feel that, okay, we are doing the greatest job on earth, and we have sacrificed so many things. I'm not saying try to degrade your own job. Of course, respect your job as a homemaker, but then, we need to also understand the perspective of the man who has gone out the entire day only so that he can provide the kind of luxury, shelter, food for his family. We need to understand his perspective as well. And yeah, of course, empathy is required, but along with empathy, we need to have the wisdom how we need to conduct ourselves as a wife. And as I said, these lovely Sanskrit lines, they just talk about all those things. So those lines are absolutely magical, those lines are absolutely self-explanatory. So to only to elaborate this particular point, I would like to say that just let's keep one thing in mind, and that is, when the husband comes home, let's not just kind of pounce on him and start telling all our uh, problems or all our concerns. So I'm talking from the perspective of a homemaker who has dedicated herself to take care of the home, and who is not going out for a job for monetary benefits. And also a wife who is financially contributing for the family by going out and taking up a job for monetary benefits. Even it applies to her. It's all about understanding, it's all about maintaining balance. So let us understand the perspective of the other person as well, right? Be it a homemaker or a person who is a homemaker as well as going out for job and getting the monetary benefits. So it applies to both of them. So let us try and understand the perspective of the man, um, who goes the entire day. He goes and he has to face people over there who may not be necessarily good to him all day. They can cause him stress because of the work tension. um, you know uh, I'm not saying that being a homemaker your job is any less, or being a person who is also going outside and facing the outside world your job is any less. No, in no way am I trying to demean our job. That would be foolishness if I think that okay, suppress all your thoughts, suppress all your needs, and just take care of him, understand him. No, I'm not trying to say that. That doesn't make any sense to me. It is not that what I'm trying to convey. All I'm trying to say is, as a life partner, it and it is both the way. It's not like the husband can just throw tantrums and show attitude. No, I am not professing that kind of attitude, and the wife has to be always submissive. She has to be the one who has to sacrifice, keep on showing empathy and be very sacrificing. No, I'm not trying to say that. All I'm trying to say is, like, let us understand the perspective of the other person as well. Let us understand the perspective of the life partner, the person who is going out the entire day, who is literally slogging to earn money for the family. Let us understand his perspective as a homemaker, as a person who has got the comfort of staying at home. And again, I'm saying our job is also challenging enough. It's not like we are sailing in a boat of roses and we are having a wonderful time at home. We too have challenges, no doubt. But then let us understand the perspective of the other person as well. Let us avoid nagging, let us avoid complaining. Let us take a pause and understand that this man has come home. He has gone through so many challenges, just like I have gone through many challenges. Even he has gone through certain things, and it is not advisable for me to just pounce on him and tell him that that happened, this happened, I'm not happy with this, try and help me out in this. Is it fair? It's not. So the second point is as simple as that. Let us be wise. Let us be the wise women in our lives who knows when to put her point forward, and who doesn't believe in nagging, and she keeps her points with dignity and earns respect. Doesn't just go about fighting, doesn't just go about complaining, and flares up and shows her emotions unnecessarily. No, let's be wise women who support her husband emotionally. And this is one of the vital points, and that is, understand the situation before keeping your points to be the greatest and thinking that your things needs to be addressed first. There are times when we need to give a pause to that and understand the perspective of the other person as well. And whenever the situation is fine, have a good communication, be frank, and have an honest conversation, and let the person know that whatever you are going through, but it doesn't mean that you don't see the situation and you just start off. So there lies the wisdom, and we need to exercise that kind of wisdom, because the person whom we are talking about is very important in our lives. We must take care of his mental and physical health. And the only way out is showing the wisdom by understanding when to talk and when to remain silent. That's all about it. That's the only wisdom we need to have, so that we maintain our own respect and dignity in front of him. And by doing so, we are emotionally supporting him. So, yeah, we must try this. As a woman, it is there in us, that quality is completely ingrained in us. It's completely there in us, which says that you are a giver. You are, you could call someone who doesn't expect a lot but believes in giving a lot. It is there in us. It is very much there in us, that energy, that feminine energy is there in us. And unfortunately, due to the influence in the environment and all that, we certain there are certain situations wherein we get influenced by whatever is happening in our environment. And right now, nowadays, in our environment, there's a lot of noise regarding feminism, and of course the gender equality that they talk about. And frankly speaking, I cannot understand both the concepts. I'm sorry, I really cannot understand both the concepts, because it it literally defeats the logic that we women are so much special and we are fighting for equality. Does it make any sense to you at all? According to me, we are actually supreme than them. Think about it. We don't have to fight for the equality. Okay, fine. When it comes to the pay, when it comes to the pay structure, and women are saying that we are putting in efforts, but still the men are given high pay, and the women, we are not given. When it comes to such topics, then let me be very clear that any kind of job should not be gender based. It needs to be based on the intellectual capacity of a person. So if you are contributing something to the the organization, then your pay should be based on your intellectual capacity and the contribution or the efforts that you're putting. It doesn't matter you're a lady or a man. That is my opinion when it comes to gender equality and pay equality, whatever they're talking about. But otherwise, I'm of the firm opinion that I don't have to fight for the gender equality, because I know I'm more supreme than the other gender. I am not trying to be arrogant. No, I'm not trying to be arrogant, but I'm trying to emphasize on the point that there is no meaning in trying to uh, create equality, right? A man is a man, a woman is a woman. There is difference. Let's understand there is a difference, and it's a beautiful difference. That's what it makes the world so beautiful. Why are you trying to equalize? Why are you trying to bring them on the same path? you know I am good at something. My husband, as a man, is good at something. What he is good at, I may not be good at that. This is the beautiful difference which we need to maintain. Why are we wasting, literally wasting our energy in trying to create an equality in the genders? I cannot understand. I really cannot understand. So this particular point, so let us first understand that, please, let's stop this gender equality thing. It really doesn't make any sense to me at all. Let the difference be there. Let us celebrate these differences. In fact, why do we have to cry? Why do we have to crib that there's so much difference, and why are we not equal? Let's not be equal. That's the beauty of the world. That's the beauty of this difference that we have. That's the way God has created. So when I talk about gender equality, it is because I need to emphasize on the point that let us understand that we are always the giver. Okay, so we are always someone who can create a new life, right? Men do not have this quality, gift, capability. So we are much supreme than them, and we need to understand this quality in us and stop victimizing ourselves that, I am not equal to him, or I am not being respected as much he is being respected. And in this process, we literally, we punish ourselves for no reason. So, what I want to say is that keep yourself in a position where you know that you are the giver, where you know that you are at a higher position. You are nothing low, you're nothing, uh, you know, lesser than the other person. Okay, so you don't have to fight to prove that you're equal to that person. Don't get into this feminism, this gender equality, and all that stuff. Doesn't make any sense if you really give it a thought. Always keep yourself in a position that you are a giver. You are a person who is created for kindness, who is created for creating new things, and you don't have to, punish yourself or try to compete with your better half, and try to prove yourself. When you get this kind of psychology perfectly fit into your mind, you will be able to deal with your husband properly, because you do not have that preconceived notion that, okay, he's superior to me, he's trying to show off his authority, and I'm nothing. This will never even come to your mind. If you know that you are supreme, you are someone who is doing things which the other gender is unable to do. So celebrate your qualities uh, rather than coming under the pressure of the society saying that, oh, husband is doing very well, what does she do, she's just a homemaker. Such comments can come. Don't get disturbed, don't get perturbed, and don't jump for gender equality, and don't jump for the thing that, okay, I'm equal to him, so what, and all those things. Don't get into all such things. It doesn't make any sense, because you need to be aware that you are already a supreme being. Being a woman itself is such a gift. So celebrate your womanhood, celebrate your qualities. And when you are very confident in your position, when you're very confident in knowing your worth, you know when you're confident in knowing your worth, like, yes, I am a full-fledged satisfied woman who has been contributing so much to the family, and who's so much she has to give and give. When you are aware of that particular quality in you, you will stop competing, and you would rather be there for him, and you would rather mellow down and say that I am there for you to extend the emotional support. I'm there for you to, you know, uh, comfort you emotionally, spiritually, and be there for you. This all these things will happen when you are convinced internally that, yes, I am special and I don't have to fight for equality in this marriage. That is very important. When you stop fighting for that kind of equality in the marriage, that is when you will realize your worth, and you will stop, all kinds of um, disturbances, all kind of difference of opinion will just come to a halt, making your life peaceful with your husband. Because here you are supporting him, you're not competing with him, you're not challenging him. As long as you compete, as long as you challenge, be rest assured that the peacefulness will never be restored, or will never be there in a household. So, yes, just be convinced, be relaxed that you are very special, and there's no harm in telling yourself that I'm much more supreme and I'm much more ahead of the other gender. You are being practical, you're talking something logical to yourself, which is a fact. And no, that doesn't mean you have to get into arrogance. It only means that you're knowing your worth and you're no more trying to compete with the other gender in the marriage. As simple as that. I hope you liked today's content. The only intention of making a content like this was, as homemakers, sometimes we ignore. It's not that we consciously ignore, or we are like, deliberately trying to be very indifferent to our husbands. No, no such intentions will be there in any homemaker's mind. We just tend to not acknowledge these points, and we feel that, yeah, I am doing a good job as a wife, but still, why some things don't be peaceful at my home, or why are there any problems in my relationship, why are there any conflicts in my marriage? Because we do not give importance to the fact that we also have to be emotionally supportive to our husbands. So my intention was very clear while making the content, and that is, let us show empathy, let us understand their perspective, let us not try to compete with them. If we do all these things, it is as good as we are emotionally supporting them every day, and that means a lot to them. And it's not always important to keep your problems at a peak and then say that I am the one who is victim, I am the one who is sacrificing. No, not necessary. Even the other person is sacrificing, right? We need to understand that. We need to understand their perspective as well, and that is when we will be able to create a peaceful environment for ourselves in the marriage. That's all about it's always like, if you are there to emotionally support, it's almost half the battle is won. At least from your side, you're doing it, you are satisfied. What else do you want, right? End of the day, if you have that clear conscience, and you're able to have a good sleep saying that, yes, I did my duty, yes, I am there for my husband, I'm there for my family, I'm there for my kids, this kind of satisfaction is another level. You will experience the ecstasy, the happiness, which nothing else can provide you. A soft pillow is equated to a clear conscience. So have that soft pillow always with you. And that is when you know that you're doing your duty and you are emotionally supporting your husband. So, if you like this content today, then please feel free to provide your feedback in the comments below. I would be more than happy to read them and also respond back. And until next time, happy homemaking, take care of yourself, and yes, do not forget to emotionally support your husband, because they are such good men in our lives. Thank you for watching, and take care and bye.